All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Eli. Glad you could all join me here today on this beautiful, amazing Saturday. Regardless of where you're at, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I certainly am. I've been getting a lot done around the house, spending time with my girlfriend, Dawn. She'll be joining me on a stream really soon on one of the channels here. We'll share more about that in just a little bit. But it's been a great freaking day, and hopefully it's been a wonderful day for you as well. Got a great show for you folks here today. And this topic is near and dear to my heart. I mean, this topic basically dictates the type of person you are. So stick around for that, even though it sounds like a basic title. Okay. It's very important, and most people just don't understand the true meaning of this. I'm going to explain that for you folks here today in my words, through my eyes. But before we get to all that, first of all, let me make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. Let me first of all make sure that the back end of YouTube is rolling well. Just waiting for the back end of YouTube to start up, and it has. Let me check out the back end on Facebook. Oh, I forgot. We're simulcasting live on Facebook. We are simulcasting live on Facebook. I forgot to say that. We're live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. And Facebook on the back end seems to be rolling very well. All the stats look good. And let me do a sound check on both here real quick. The notification has gone out on YouTube. Near and dear to my heart. I mean, this topic basically dictates the type of person you are. So stick around for that. All right. So YouTube is rolling well. Let's see if Facebook promoted the event today, actually. Come on, Facebook. Oh, yeah, there it is. Elias Melas is live now. Should also be on my timeline. Yeah. Yes. There it is. All right, let me check this out real quick. Facebook on the back end seems to be rolling very well. All the stats look good. Let me do a sound check. All right, I got to tell you folks, I love it when things just work. When tech works, it's a beautiful thing because I'm a tech guru. I love tech. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was born and raised and still live here in the San Francisco Bay Area. This is the high-tech capital of the world, the place that started it all. I grew up with this. And when things don't work, it really bugs me. But when things work, oh man, it just fires me up. So I'm super, super duper fired up today. All right. So during this show, I'm going to be going back and forth between the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat. So if you're on Facebook and you don't get a response from me right away, you will eventually. So please be patient. Also, for those of you on YouTube and Facebook, because some people on YouTube are new, I've done this for a while longer on YouTube. There is a 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out on these in-studio streams. To both Facebook and YouTube. So again, please allow a little more time than usual to get a response if you're in the chat. That is, if your comments warrant a response. If they don't, you're probably going to get removed. That's just the way it goes around here. We don't deal with trolls. We don't deal with haters. We don't deal with BS. We are a positive environment here. And that's what the GNA is all about. Oh, by the way, before we go further, if this is your first time here, whether you're here on Facebook or YouTube, or the first time that you and I are meeting, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Elias Melas, or you can call me Eli for short. And I am the president and founder of the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. It's an organization I started in person that's now moved more towards online. We're going to do more in-person stuff down the road too. But it's an organization I started in 2011 to provide entrepreneurs with a better and lower cost alternative way of meeting their next power partners and possible clients. So basically, entrepreneurs networking. We also taught personal development during that time, self-improvement, because part of being a successful entrepreneur involves you being able to, love yourself and be a happy person and not be shy or timid. Learn how to be a great public speaker. Just learn how to run a business. If you're shy, you're not going to be able to run a business. So there's always been a personal development aspect of the GNA, but now I've moved it online. And over the last 6.5 years, until recently, I was branding myself as Coach Elias Melas, which is what this channel used to be. This channel here on YouTube used to be Coach Elias Melas. Now it's GNA, which is short for Genuine Networking Association, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. And then the other channel, if you go below in the description on YouTube and Facebook, you can subscribe to my live streaming YouTube channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Now, typically I don't stream on this main channel here on YouTube. I'll mention it again, why I'm going to be streaming here for a while. It's because I haven't put on any content for a while on this channel. It's more of the pre-recorded channel. And until I find more time to get pre-recorded content done, I have to put some content out here, or else YouTube, after 6 months of being inactive, will remove you from the YouTube Partner Program. And both of the channels that I run here with my girlfriend, Dawn, GNA, Genuine Personal Development, and then GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, they're both monetized. This channel here, the main channel on the YouTube side of things, which I'm on right now, has been monetized for 4.5 years. And the GNA2 channel has been monetized for just over 2 years. So we want to keep that in good standing. So that's why, I'm doing live streams now. And probably for the next month and a half or two, I'm going to keep the in-studio streams here on the main channel. Now, the Walking with Purpose streams and other members-only live streams, Driving with Purpose streams, all that type of stuff, all the mobile stuff is going to be done from the other channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. And if you're on Facebook, the only way you're going to be able to watch content that is not being broadcast from the studio, the only way you can watch my mobile streams is if you subscribe to both of my YouTube channels. So please make sure you do that. Link is below in the description section, again, of both Facebook and YouTube. All right, so let's get right to it. I'm not going to be on too terribly long because I'm going to probably do a walk on the other channel later this afternoon. I haven't done a walk, I think, in a couple of days. I've been just so busy. But let's get to the topic here. Okay, the topic of this show is live your life with acceptance and forgiveness. One more time, the topic of today's show is live your life with acceptance and forgiveness. This is a topic that's very, very near and dear to my heart. I've talked about it before. I've actually talked about every topic before, which is what I'm trying to say. I can't talk today. I've talked about every topic before. But there's always going to be new stuff to bring more value to the same topics we've discussed in the past. Because when it comes to self-help, personal development, there's only so much you can talk about, and then you're going to be talking about the same aspects, right? But you can always change it up with different examples. Today, or earlier this morning, actually, I was watching a show with my lady. I can't remember which show it was. I think it was Blue Bloods with Tom Selleck. And there's a man, I believe, that guest stars on that show, that used to guest star on that show, named Treat Williams, who actually passed away last year due to a motorcycle accident. He was 71 years old. And Treat had an amazing career. I'm going to read an article written by a local TV station back east. The local Fox TV station back east did a great article on this. Because the way the family handled the death because there was another person that cut off Treat, making a left turn, and then Treat ran into him and boom, flew over his bike and over the car, I believe. And basically that's what ended up killing him. I mean, he made it to the hospital, but he lost a lot of blood, yada, 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 right? And the way the family handled this almost put tears in my eyes. I was talking about this with Dawn because Treat Williams actually was a pretty prominent character. He was a guest star on a show I used to watch called White Collar. If you folks haven't seen the show White Collar, it came out around 2008, 2009 on USA Network and has been streaming on Hulu and Netflix, and I believe Amazon Prime has it under their freebie, sub streaming service there. Freebie always has ads, and I believe there's no option to turn off ads for Freebie. But, if you have Hulu or Netflix with no ads, you can watch the show with no ads. I love the show White Collar. Don and I, we watch, every so often, like while we're sleeping, we'll put on White Collar in the background. And for, I think it was about maybe 15 or 20 episodes, Treat Williams was a guest star and actually played the father of Neil Caffrey, who was a star of the show, Matt Palmer. And basically, Neil Caffrey was a confidential informant for Peter Burke, who ran the FBI division in New York on the show. So I didn't really know a lot about Treat until that show. And then I'd seen him guest star on some other shows since, White Collar ended years ago, like in 2016 or 2017. That's when the show ended. And then it went to streaming. Okay. So the article that was written really, really showed me a lot of compassion. And that's what made me create this topic here today. Live your life with acceptance and forgiveness, because when someone, passes away, that's a family member is very close to you, and they pass away due to the negligence of another person, whether it's vehicle by vehicle or other ways, you have to learn to accept it, and you have to learn to forgive. If not, you're not going to be able to live with yourself. And honestly, if you are not able to accept things and forgive, then I have to ask you, what kind of a human being are you, right? So let me go ahead and switch on over to the browser source here. Come on. Why is it not showing up? This is interesting. Okay. Yeah, OBS had another update today, open broadcast software that I use. So it's kind of playing little tricks on me here, but it looks like it is stabilized there. Okay. So this is from Fox 59. This station is, I can't remember where this station is at. It's back east somewhere. And this is what they wrote. Driver pleads guilty to reduced charge in crash that killed actor Treat Williams. This was posted and updated on March 10th, 2024, just earlier this year. Treat Williams passed away, last year, I believe it was the middle of 2023. So let's get to it. Bennington, Vermont. The driver charged with causing the crash that killed actor Treat Williams in June 2023, the middle of last year, accepted a plea agreement in court Friday morning. Yeah, wow. He was offered a plea. Williams was driving a motorcycle near Dorset, Vermont last summer when a car driven by 35-year-old Ryan Koss tried to make a left turn and entered Williams' path. Vermont State Police said at the time. So basically, he was trying to make a left turn, and obviously, if you're making a left turn, that's an unprotected left turn. There's no light or anything like that. Or if you're able to make a left turn, your light's green, but you have to yield to oncoming straight traffic. Apparently, this guy failed to yield to oncoming traffic that has the right of way. Treat had the right of way. Let's continue here. Give me a second here. Interesting here. Give me a second here. Let me see. Something's going on the Facebook side of things. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Everything's rolling well. I just hadn't updated. Okay. Everything's good. All right. Stay focused, Eli. Stay focused. All right. Williams, unable to avoid the crash, was thrown from the motorcycle. Authorities said he suffered critical injuries and was airlifted to an Albany, New York hospital where he was pronounced dead. He was 71. They didn't share a lot of information regarding how this accident happened. But from what I know about people that ride motorcycles, okay, both men and women ride motorcycles, but I see men riding motorcycles different than women. Men like to gun their motorcycles, right? Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from Treat, God rest his soul. I really loved you as an actor, and we're going to miss you tremendously, man. But obviously, Treat must have been coming at a high rate of speed. Now, who knows what the speed limit was where they were at? Like some roads back east and some country roads here in California are a 55 or 65 zone. And they're, 2 lanes on each side. And in order to, turn on a side street, you have to cut across a highway. And that's very, very, very dangerous. Like, very dangerous. So, apparently, Treat, ran into the car that was making a left turn, failure to yield, and he flew, and he had a lot of injuries and lost a lot of blood, and then at the hospital he was pronounced, dead. So my question is, how fast was Treat going? Where was this really at? How could there not be enough time to react? In my opinion, a car is not going to just all of a sudden make a left turn, and not see somebody coming. I'm not trying to, discredit this at all. But what happens a lot of times is motorcycles come so fast. Like 1 second, if you're looking to make that left turn, there's nothing there. Then you start making that turn. Next thing you know, you got a motorcycle coming at you at 65 miles an hour. That's what I think happened. That's just my opinion. But again, not taking anything away from Treat, God rest your soul. I'm just sharing my thoughts here. Because when I get out there on the road, like, I've avoided so many accidents myself because I look to see if people are going to run a red light. Like, you can't just, if you're going to make a left turn, or if you're going to cross a light right when it turns green, you got to look on opposing traffic, left and right. You got to look at the cross traffic, because people will run red lights, and boom, if you go right when your light turns green and someone runs a red light, they're going to T-bone you, and that could be it, right? So you got to take all that into consideration. You got to be proactive on the road, and that's some good solid advice there. Okay. Klaus, the managing creative director of the Dorset Theater Festival, who knew the actor and his family through Vermont's theater community, originally pleaded not guilty to a charge of gross negligent operation with death resulting in September. Yeah, I mean, he probably wasn't. He probably was trying to make a legitimate left turn. And Treat was probably coming really fast. That's what I think happened. So that's why I think he pled not guilty. I don't think it was a bad thing for him to plead not guilty. It didn't sound like this guy had malice intent. But if you make an honest mistake on the road, or, if you're making a left turn and there's nothing coming and the motorcycle all of a sudden is coming at 65 miles an hour, that's hard to see. I mean, that's just a bad day, in my opinion. There's no malice intent there, So, let's see here. On Friday, Koss pleaded guilty to a lesser misdemeanor charge that will allow him to avoid prison time. That's good. That's really, really good there. He received a 1-year deferred sentence, and as part of his probation, he will have his driving license revoked for a year. That sucks, because it doesn't sound like this guy did anything intentionally wrong. But if you're just at the wrong place at the wrong time, sometimes you pay the price for something, right? And again, I'm saddened by the loss of Treat Williams, but this guy was just trying to make a left turn to get to where he wanted to get to. It didn't sound like he was doing anything negligent. Now he can't drive for a year. Koss must also complete a community restorative justice program on the misdemeanor charge. If he commits a crime or violates probation within the next year, he could face up to 2 years in prison. Okay. Well, the guy doesn't sound like a bad guy. So here's what he said, the driver. I made a left turn that collided with an oncoming motorcycle, and it was my responsibility to avoid that from happening, Koss said Friday, apologizing to Williams' wife, Pam, and their 2 children, Gil and Ellie. And there's Treat. Treat Williams, one of my favorite roles he played, was on the show White Collar. He played Neil Caffrey's father, James Bennett. Now, the reason why they have a different last name, even as their acting roles, is because, he left, what do you call it? James Bennett, played by Treat Williams, left Neil's wife, and then Neil took his mother's maiden name, Caffrey. So Treat, as you see on the screen over here, played James Bennett, Neil Caffrey's father, on the show White Collar. God rest your soul, man. We're gonna miss you, man. You were a hell of an actor. Actor Treat Williams attends the world premiere of Second Act in New York on December 12, 2018. Williams, whose nearly 50-year career included starring roles in the TV series Everwood and the movie Hair, died Monday, June 12, 2023, after a motorcycle crash in Vermont. State police said he was 71. Okay. And here's what touched my heart about this article. This is why I'm sharing this, and this is what inspired me to do this topic here today. Hey, Tia, how you doing? Welcome to the main channel. Welcome to the show. 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out. I'm probably going to do a walk later on this afternoon on the other channel, GNA2, Genuine Life Personal Development. And for those of you on Facebook, make sure you subscribe to both the YouTube channels and tap the bell with all notifications, so that way you can watch the streams that are only available on YouTube. Great to see you here, Tia. Thank you so much for being here. Gil Williams, the late actor's 32-year-old son, addressed Koss saying, I've spent months now thinking of all the things that could be hurtful, and I don't want to do that. You raised a good kid, Treat. God rest your soul. Because that's the right way to look at it. I mean, you could sit there and hold on to resentment and hate the guy for making the left turn in front of your father, and then your father runs into him and dies. Or you can say, hey, shit happens, right? And everyone makes mistakes, and unfortunately it cost my father his life, and I miss my father. But just because of that, I don't want to make this innocent man's, life miserable. Obviously, this was not done with malice intent. But again, vehicular manslaughter, even if vehicular manslaughter is unintentional, you're still going to pay the price for it, one way or another. That's just the way the law works, unfortunately, Instead, Gil, wearing his father's jacket, sat across from Koss and forgave him. Wow. God bless you, Gil. I do forgive you, and I hope you forgive yourself. Not only did Treat Williams' 32-year-old son forgive the guy that caused the accident that killed his father, he asked the guy to forgive himself because the guy is feeling tremendous guilt. Absolutely. And I don't want you to go to prison. Wow. 32-year-old guy. A 32-year-old man is still a kid, in my opinion. I was at 32 years old. Yeah, I was starting to mature, but nowadays you don't really become a man until you're in your late 30s or early 40s. This guy's pretty mature for his age, right? And for him to say, I forgive you and I hope you forgive yourself and I don't want you to go to prison. Wow. What a stellar human being that guy is. Tia says, thank you. You're very welcome, Tia. You're very, very welcome. He added, the family did not want to press charges or have Koss go to prison, he said. Yeah, because they realized this was unintentional. They realized it was unintentional. A guy was making a left turn. Motorcycles are hard to see. One of the most important questions on every driver test, including here in California, is motorcycles are blank, and they give you 4 options, and one of them is are hard to see. The answer is motorcycles are hard to see. They are. They're very hard to see because they're small. They get, they come alongside your blind spot, and you can't see them. And then they come fast. And then motorcycles are allowed to also, if there's traffic, even on the freeway, they can weave through traffic legally. Stellar family. I got to tell you, this touched my heart. I had to talk about this. All right, let's continue here. Oh, what's going on here? Why is this? I don't get it. Give me a second here. I got to figure out what's going on with this. Let me see here. It's weird. It keeps on, if I move to a different part, it moves off the screen sometimes. That's weird. Maybe the OBS update kind of screwed that up. All right, it's okay. It seems to be working okay now. All right. After the crash, Koss called Williams' wife to tell her what happened. Said Bennington County State's Attorney Erica Methridge, who said Koss from the beginning has taken responsibility for the accident. That's actually very noble. Even though we don't know. We don't know how fast Treat was coming. We don't know, whenever you're going to make an unprotected left turn, whether it's at a light or you're crossing a road or crossing a highway that has no divider, right, to get to another road, that's dangerous. It's dangerous, to do that. For me, if it's too dangerous to cross a freeway, I'll just basically, take the long way. I'll keep going straight and make a U-turn at the protected light. Sometimes it's just not worth crossing in certain very dangerous sections. The risk of an accident or death is very high. But wow, I mean, stellar dude too, took responsibility, and that's why they came to, they came to the plea agreement. It is very difficult to have this happen based on someone's negligence. Gill added, urging people to take driving a lot more seriously and to look out for motorcycles. Right. So Gill understands that, hey, his dad might have been driving too fast, and he knows motorcycles are hard to see. He probably rides a motorcycle too. He probably used to ride with his dad. Statements from William's wife, Pam, and his daughter, who both did not attend the court hearing, were read aloud. It must have been way, way, way too emotional and stressful for them to come. It's interesting to me, and this is with no disrespect. It's interesting to me how the man remaining in the family, the son, shows up in court, and then his wife Pam and his daughter, two females, did not attend the court hearing. And this is with no disrespect. It's a lot harder for women to deal with this because of their emotions. It's just the way it is, and that's with no disrespect. I mean, that's why they probably didn't show up. I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit. It's just interesting, right? Pam Williams said in her statement that it was a tragic accident and that she hopes Koss can forgive himself. That's amazingly kind of a woman that just lost her husband of a long time. Our lives will never be the same. Our family has been torn apart, and there's a huge hole that can't possibly be filled, she wrote in her statement. Yeah. I know how hard it was to lose my father 14 years ago at the age of 76. And he just passed away, before an Easter liturgy at church. He was the cantor of our church that would sing the hymns along with the priest. And he was a little bit overweight, and he was diabetic, and he had a lot of medical issues, which probably contributed to it. But still, it was just sad. So I get it. I understand how they feel. Daughter Ellie Williams wrote in her statement that she was too angry and hurt at this time to forgive Koss, but hopes she will in the future. Well, that sounds like I don't blame the daughter for feeling that way, but it sounds like she hasn't fully matured yet. Maybe she's younger. That's fine. Not a big deal. She'll get there. But she hopes she will be able to forgive him in the future. Yeah, when she'll mature. Like I said, a lot of men and women nowadays don't really become fully mature or reasonably mature until their late 30s or early 40s. So, my girlfriend Dawn is going through that right now, with her kids. A lot of people are going through that. Kids nowadays, even when they become adults in their 20s and early to mid 30s, they're not fully mature. It's taking a lot longer for adults to mature nowadays. It's just the world we live in. Let's see. Tia says, a second here. Give me a second, Tia. It is sad all the way around. I can't imagine the guilt he lives with. I also hope he is able to forgive himself. R.I.P. Treat Williams. Did you know, I'm sure you knew Treat. Like, he had a pretty extensive Hollywood career, but I knew him best in his role as James Bennett on the show White Collar. And Tia or anyone else, if you haven't watched White Collar and Burn Notice, two great shows to watch. You can stream them on Hulu or Netflix ad-free with the ad-free plan, or you can stream them on Amazon Prime included with your Amazon membership. free with commercials on Freevee through Amazon. Freevee is owned by Amazon. Okay, let's continue here. I will never get to feel my father's hug again, be able to get his advice again, introduce him to my future husband, have him walk me down the aisle, introduce him to my babies, and have him cry when I name my first son after him, a victim's advocate said in reading her statement. Yeah, I can't blame the daughter for feeling that way. But she'll get to the place of forgiveness at some point. And that's pretty much everything I had for this show. I wanted to share this story here because a lot of people nowadays, let me go back to full screen here. A lot of people nowadays find it very difficult to forgive. All right. Some people say, I forgive, but I'll never forget. Now, I don't blame people for not forgetting because I pretty much, don't forget everything that's happened to me, right? But if someone has wronged me and I truly feel they're seeking remorse and or they're feeling remorse, if they're truly feeling remorse and they're really sorry for what they did and they make a valid effort to make things right, I can forgive anyone, right? And even if people that have wronged me, don't try to make it right, I still have a forgiving nature. I feel for people, right? Even the people that aren't able to forgive are struggling with a lot more internally, and they need to figure that out and work on that before they're even able to comprehend what forgiveness actually is and means, Tia retracted her message. We'll see what she says. Maybe she made a typo. I've learned in life, folks, to accept whatever happens. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. Whatever comes your way, comes your way. You deal with it as it happens, right? And don't let anything slow you down, no matter what it is. Do the best you can to resolve the situation, to work through it, to accept it. And if it involves someone doing you wrong, accept it and figure out a way to forgive them. Okay? Figure out a way to forgive them. And find peace within yourself. Because forgiveness will set you free. Even if someone wrongs you and you want to hold on to resentment, what's that going to do? What's that going to do? Holding on to resentment, is going to make you, the person that's the victim, feel shittier than you already do. So why not forgive and feel good about forgiving and saying, hey, I understand. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. All right, folks. We are at 39 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. Brief show. Good show. Another flawless show from the studio, both on YouTube and Facebook. Once again, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, I'm looking to interview people pre-recorded, podcast style. Minimum 1 hour interview, maximum 2.5 hours, depending on how much there's to talk about. So whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, if you are a good, decent, down-to-earth person and you have something of value to present, if you're an entrepreneur, I'd love to interview you on your business and then also ask you some additional questions as well so we can learn more about you. If you're not an entrepreneur and you just want to have a conversation, I'm open to that as well. I'm open to interviewing anyone. Maybe if you're not an entrepreneur, you're thinking about becoming one. So your interview could be about, hey, what's holding you back from wanting to become an entrepreneur, right? So if you're open to being interviewed, please go below in the description on Facebook and YouTube and email me at eliasmelas@genuinenetworkingassociation.org. That's eliasmelas@genuinenetworkingassociation.org. I'm really looking to getting things going with the interviews ASAP, so please email me, and we'll go from there. And to those of you on Facebook that I haven't connected with in a while, or haven't talked with in a while, please, let's reconnect. I really miss all of you. I took a little detour doing the Coach Eli thing for a while, and now I've gotten rid of that. Still doing the same thing, personal development, but I'm back to running the GNA full force like we used to. We had great times. We connected with great people, and many of us, ran very successful businesses. That's what we're heading back towards. Get your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to go off the air in a second. I'm going to read Tia's message here, and we're going to go off the air. Tia says, I don't feel grief and maturity go hand in hand. I'm very forgiving. If someone killed my husband, I would have a hard time forgiving. I understand. I totally understand, Tia. I totally understand. Everybody is going to process grieving and grief and death differently. I totally get it. I'm just coming out and saying, what's holding on to resentment going to do? What's holding on to resentment going to do? It's just going to make us that are holding onto the resentment against someone that's wronged us feel worse, right? That's just my opinion, but I totally respect how you handle it, and everyone can handle it their own way. I'm just sharing, a way that I feel would work better for everyone, or at least works, well for me. And it allows me to have peace and solace in my life and move forward to continue doing what I need to do for myself, my family, Dawn, my girlfriend, and other people that I care for. But thank you for that. And thank you for being here, Tia. Greatly appreciate it. I'll be doing a walk in a few hours on the secondary channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Please feel free to join us over there, whether you're here on YouTube or on Facebook. Again, if you're on Facebook, the mobile streams are only available on YouTube. Please subscribe to both channels. You'll see them here. YouTube.com/@GNA Personal Development is the channel I'm on YouTube right now. And then GNA2, Genuine Life Personal Development, the live streaming channel, which now I'm just doing the mobile stuff on there for the time being. YouTube.com/@GNA2- Genuine Live Personal Development. Let me repeat that one more time just to make sure that we got it correct. So the main channel, youtube.com/@GNA Personal Development. The secondary channel, GNA2, the live streaming channel, youtube.com/@GNA2-Live Personal Development. It would take a long time, says Tia. I get it. I totally understand. With that being said, folks, see you all in the bit from the walk on the other channel. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.